So we're going to need help. We're going to need resources from the state or federal government to help close some of those gaps or incentivize building around here.
BusinessJournalDaily.com. 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
Who's the only local bank with a mobile mortgage app? Farmers. Download the app to contact your lender, calculate payments, securely scan and upload documents, and check the status of your loan. Fiercely local, fiercely loyal, Farmers.
We have a housing issue here. How do we fix that? I mean, that's certainly out of your domain, Guy, but I mean, what do we do?
We're on it. I
So-
think we're on it.
So that's a problem everywhere. I was in Columbus a week and a half ago, in Washington just a couple of days ago. I'm hearing it from every community that attends these seminars and meetings. Eastgate's brought on a consultant to do a housing assessment and strategy for Mahoning and Trumbull counties. Part of that effort is a 6 to 9 month effort. We're going to see, we're probably at the midway point. We've been holding stakeholder meetings, and we have another one coming up in March. The consultant is bringing in the industry, developers, builders, bringing in the community leaders together and gathering information. Part of that assessment is to drive every street in both of those counties and gather the information on what we got to do. That's not just, and I think it's important to talk about the strategy is not just to build a new development in a suburb. It's talking about multifamily housing that we can get in our cities. How do we bring back and take care of some of the houses that need repair? I think one of the challenges we already know is the gap, the finance gap. To build a house, I'm just going to make some numbers up, $200,000 to build a house in Columbus, $200,000 to build a house in Youngstown. Youngstown sells for $300,000, sells for $400,000 in Columbus. Your builders are saying, why would I build a house here? So we're going to need help. We're going to need resources from the state or federal government to help close some of those gaps or incentivize building around here. We've also met this past, at the end of last year, we met with a developer that's in many of the communities, in many of the states, that take city blocks that were used to house your elementary schools in neighborhoods. Now we go on more of a campus look when we go to schooling in our cities. They take those, they clean it up. They build 40 to 60 multifamily units in that city block, get tax incentives, again, make it financially sound for them, but we get 60 new units. And then they say in every one of those communities that they've done that in, again, a 16-state footprint to see success. They see the housing around it investing because now there's new housing right in their neighborhood. So it's a challenge. We hope to get additional information from the stakeholders next month and roll out our strategy here in the spring.
Wow, that's a lot to take in. Any feedback on the housing issue?
Yeah, I'll speak briefly to Mercer County's situation. You know, we're in the same boat. The cost to develop a house significantly outweighs the housing market. As Jim mentioned, it can cost a developer. I just spoke with a developer. He said a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,000 square foot home, just the shell of it alone, it comes in as starting at about $120,000. So that doesn't include gas, water, electric. That doesn't include installation of appliances, doesn't include anything, just the shell of the building. So it's very easy for that bill to rack up to $200,000, $250,000 in an area where our average income is about $55,000. Selling a $300,000 home just doesn't make sense. We really can't fill that void. So we really need help from the state really to help mitigate that gap between housing development and the market cost. That's really our weak spot right now.
Is any help coming anywhere?
So what Jake and Jim referred to, it's on our public policy radar. We need the Pennsylvania and Ohio state governments to help our communities that have suffered significant population loss and have low property values. We brag about affordable housing, but that's not working in our favor right now because the value of the home after you build it is less than what it costs to build it. So you're not going to get a builder here. So we need incentives to incentivize the building. What we're seeing, especially with a lot of the job creation in Lordstown at Altium Cells and Foxconn, is we're seeing people buy and build homes about 40 minutes away. Places like Hudson and Stowe, where they get an ROI where you can find a builder. And that's not helping our community. It's not really building up our tax base and creating an economy here with the income from those workers. So public policy has to change. Public policy also needs to change around what young people want. Throughout our community, all of our communities, we have minimums, minimum acreage, minimum square footage, minimum distance from your neighbor. And what we're seeing from the younger generation is they want walkability. They don't want those kinds of minimums. They want small, and they want to walk to the entertainment. They prefer to walk to work. And so, we're having to go back and rethink our building codes, our zoning codes, and things like that.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
Who's the only local bank with a mobile mortgage app? Farmers. Download the app to contact your lender, calculate payments, securely scan and upload documents, and check the status of your loan. Fiercely local, fiercely loyal, Farmers.